Welcome. We're here at Gaia Ashram, Permaculture project, Ecovillage design project, and ecosystem restoration project in Thailand. And I want to show you our alleycrop, our little agroforestry system. So our alleycrop is basically an agroforestry system, so where we integrate fruit trees and other trees with kind of perennial vegetables and other edible plants. These are the alleys, you could say, and then we got these hills where we plant on. So I can show you some of the plants that we have. Obviously we have quite a mix here. You can do this system also, you can put like focus on 4 or 3 things or even 2 things. We just like to have a lot of diversity of different things, different fruit and vegetables. But yeah, you can do it entirely different depending on your needs. So here we have, for example, some banana. It's great banana, good food. Here we have some turmeric. So that's great. Again, the mulberry, right? And here we have the moringa, which is very healthy superfood. And yeah, and we powder it also, and we put it in our muesli and things. Great, healthy. Here we have chaya. This is a great one. Chaya, or Mexican tree spinach, is one of the most nutritious greens in the world. It's also a bit toxic, so you need to cook it well, otherwise you might kill yourself or others, because it's got some cyanide properties in it. But yeah, if you cook it like a minimum of 20 minutes, then it's one of the most nutritious greens in the world. And it's super productive. This one is still small, but they call it tree spinach because it really gets to the size of a tree, and it has a lot of, so you eat the leaves, it had a lot of leaves, right? So it's super productive. Yeah, great addition. Yeah, more mulberry, a lot of cassava, right? So I like to plant the cassava a lot. I mean, we don't eat so much of it, but you could do more. But it's also just to have it as a chop and drop crop. It's easy to chop, and it produces a lot of biomass, so we feed that to the soil. Here we got a papaya up there. Yeah, so those are great additions as well. Papaya is nice, both you can eat them green and red. Here more mulberry. This one is actually a fruiting mulberry. The other ones are more for the leaf production. So this one is more for the fruit production, which is great. There's a little baby coconut there. Pretty crazy, pretty cool. Another moringa, some spinach. We got some pineapple, more pineapple. It's getting a bit overgrown here. A lot of leucaena that we can chop. There's some ivy gourd, some wild edible vine that we can actually eat if we want. Yeah, actually the leucaena we can eat also. The tips. Again, maybe not too much of it, but a little bit here and there. Here we got cha'om, another perennial vegetable bush. It's a bit spiky, has a kind of a garlicky flavor, and the Thai they put it in omelette. Yeah, and has a nice flavor, adds a flavor to it. Here we planted recently vanilla, or sorry, not vanilla, this is a cinnamon tree, still young, so we'll see how that goes. We're excited about that, it's kind of new for us. So we planted about 6 or 7, so we'll see, in a few years we can produce our own cinnamon. Yeah, more moringa, more cassava, not sure what this is, it looks like a weedy grass. More papaya. This needs to be pruned a bit. Actually, this is good to cut because at the back here we got a jackfruit tree that is a bit blocked by this leucaena. So this actually, I want to cut it down low and have the focus going to the sun going to the jackfruit. But yeah, look, jackfruit is looking pretty healthy. It's getting big. More bananas, more papaya, more of everything really. Yeah. There's a graviola or soursop tree, holding a little bit, or the fake durian they call it here. Recently we planted this, quite exciting. Never tasted the fruit, but it's a little bit like custard apple, I hear. and also apparently the leaves are kind of, they say, anti-cancer properties. There's a custard apple here. It's a little bit close to the other one. You'll see. That is another one. I guess there was some seeds dropped here. Another custard apple. Another custard apple. There's a bigger Graviola soursop, fake durian. And then next to that is another mulberry, the big one. This is kind of our main tree. So yeah, in the tropics we can really overstack. We can put a lot, and then once it gets to maturity, we could just have to manage it a bit. Cut a little bit here and there, and we can all feed that back to the soil. So we basically have at the edges we put about two rows of kind of sacrificial trees, or I call them sacrificial, the ones that we will prune and put back to the soil, that we chop and drop and feed to the soil. So that's these two. So we're planting as a sacrificial, we're planting, so the leucaena is one, and then also cassava, although we can eat it, but it also produces a lot of biomass, so then we can put it back to the soil and feed the soil with that. Like so. But obviously we already cut most of it recently, so there's not so much, so everything is now regenerating. But probably in a month we'll have, this will have grown back, so we can keep doing that in the rainy season. Probably 3 times we can do a big chop and drop, and we'll have loads of material to put back to the soil, which is pretty cool. What we try to do is to cover the ground as much as possible. We call it mulching, or we could put it like a living cover, a green cover. Okay, so here we are. We have our, so like I said before, we have our straw mulch, which is already disintegrating quite a lot, and the stuff that we chipped, it also came from here. So ideally, we want to produce most of the biomass that we're putting back in the fertility in this area. We want to also produce in this area. We want to grow in this area and then feed back right in the spot in the area. So everything that goes into the alleycrop should also come from the alleycrop, ideally. So that's where we're hoping to go. And then also what we try to do, because one challenge obviously is weeds, especially in this season, the rainy season. We have a very fast growth because of the humidity and the rain, and also a lot of sun still, so things grow very fast. So what we want to do is either suppress the weeds with this straw mulch, or we want to grow an alternative to the weeds, so the weeds don't have a chance to come. And this is a Brazilian spinach, or a Ciso spinach it's called, and it's a great ground cover, and it's really well, if we get it covered, if we put a lot of it, it will cover really nicely, and it really reduces the amount of weeds. We have a few weeds here and there, but it's pretty well established. And this is a perennial spinach, so we don't have to really do much for it. This can stay here for years, and it will do its job, and we can keep harvesting and eating from it. So that's one example how we can also suppress the weeds, have a nice ground cover that we can also eat in this system. So here we can see clearly that we have these trenches and then the hills, right? So another reason to put these trenches in is, apart from that we can walk in them and that these beds on top of here are a bit more permanent and we won't step on them, is that this way we can also harvest water passively. So when it rains, a lot of water goes into here, and then it kind of fills up a bit, and it slowly infiltrates. It doesn't run off fast. It slowly infiltrates in the space. And that way we're retaining the water on the land instead of it just washing away. So this one is actually a little bit on contour, not too much, a bit like a permaculture swale, and it works pretty well. So yeah, so all of that water is feeding into these hills and feeding the trees and the plants. So it's quite useful.